Hey everybody, I want to share you my new favorite flex pitch workflow. This is something that I use quite a bit, especially in the songwriting creative process. And then we try to find the right balance in the actual final mix and edit. Uh, while it's a great tool, it does have its limitations. However, I find that when I work with flex pitch down in the actual editor, below the top part of the main window, it can be a little cumbersome because I want to go between different tracks all the time, and you can't easily put two tracks down there in the file editor, in the track editor, and be able to work on them simultaneously. So, one of the things we can do, let me come in here and show you up at the top of our screen. We can actually do the show hide flex. It's a button that's there, and it will show us the flex on the track itself. Now, on the track header, there's also a button there that enables it, and we can choose which flex option we want to go from. We're doing flex pitch right now, and then it's just a matter of zoom. Now, this is not the whole workflow. There's a few more steps I want to talk about because I think that it's worth looking at all of this. You'll see that it's showing up for these first two. That's because they're not take folders any longer. If I open up this take folder, you'll see all of the individual takes it's enabled for, and we could edit those there. You'll only hear the main one that's selected. I think in this case, we're not going to be able to see it without turning off that mode, but that's okay. We don't even want all of those visible. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to enable track header components. I just right clicked there, track header components, and I want to turn on track alternatives. And let's turn off that mode for a second, just to keep this nice and straightforward. On the name now, you'll see little arrows, and I can do a duplicate, which I'm going to do for that. And I'm going to do a duplicate for this one because those are the two I'm really working on. That means the original A is the untouched with all of the take folders. And now B is where I'm going to be changing a lot of my the flex pitch and changing how this works. So assuming that this song has all of the takes comped as I want them, I'm going to flatten and flatten. So whichever ones we want to be able to work with here. I feel like there's probably, I don't even know if we could do them all together, but I want to do them individually and keep them at least a little bit separate still. And then same with these. And those ones all went probably because they were all selected. Okay, so there is a faster way if you have them all selected. Cool. So let's turn on the flex again. You'll see now all of the top tracks have the flex enabled. And the bottom one, it's just not turned on yet. So we're going to turn on that and go into flex pitch. It'll probably have to do the analysis. Yeah, it's doing it now. I haven't used flex on this track. It's going through the pitch corrector, but just a small amount. And then I can come through and look at how these are. You'll see the pitch is a little bit over the place, but it was recorded kind of on the fly. I think there was songwriting happening while we recorded those, so the pitch does sometimes float when you're not sure what notes you want. But now I can come through and actually fine-tune it. Not only that, and this is where it gets nice, let's do it when their harmony comes in. On a rainy day, in the middle of our May, a journey that began months ago. Now it's time. So I can easily come through and say, ooh, does that start at the same place? Are those ending at the same places? You'll see there's a little bit of stuff that didn't register with pitch at the top part. And that's okay. I mean, we don't necessarily need it always to, there can be some other parts of the sound that still start with the other phrasing. But now I can go through and edit both of these together. Let's zoom them a little bit bigger so I can fill the screen and really fine tune harmonies with the main vocal. And I can really fine tune the performances. here's where those track alternatives come into play. Say that I'm like, ooh, crap, that's not the take I wanted. Well, I can come through here. Let's go back into the A alternative. I could come through, find the one I want all the way through, put that up into the comp area. Then we can copy, go into the other alternative and just paste that into place at the same location, and then it's in the other alternative take. And so you can always maintain the A alternative as like the source from the original recording session. You duplicate it, then you can do whatever you want, but you can always go back to that A version and pull from that if you somehow mess something up or whatever else. They may be referencing the same files, but because of the nonlinear editing way that Logic mostly works, the other versions aren't going to be messed up if you just do some flex and things like that. As an example, let's come in here real quick. So first note of the whole thing, right? Let's go back into A for a second. You'll see that it's still down. So those are not connected in a one-to-one direct way. Okay, that's a super easy way to be able to use this and continue and make this really powerful. And actually, I didn't undo the right thing there. Let me just pull it back down before I forget. When I undo, it just changed back to the other alternative. But you need to undo 2 more times to make that work right. Okay, so everything now, when you're zoomed out, it's not there, but it's a really nice way to be able to just have those vocals side by side. Okay, that's it for this tip, with this workflow with Flex Pitch. Granted, I know Flex Pitch in Logic is one of those heated debate areas. I do feel like in some situations, especially when you're just fine-tuning a vocal, that you can use it and it's not going to add a lot of artifacts. I feel like if you have to do a lot of things, there's a potential for that. And so you always want to be careful and use your ears to listen, make sure that nothing is being changed more than you want it to be. If you do find yourself doing a lot of pitch correction, sometimes you can use something like, there's Soothe 2 is a third-party plugin, which is really great at helping remove some of the artifacting. You can just use a noise reducer and it will help with that if you use it in small amounts. But you can use certain techniques to help combat some of the artifacts brought in by something like Flex. Or some people like some other tools. Unfortunately, right now, something like Melodyne isn't working terrifically well with Logic. So great. If you're really determined to use Melodyne, then use a different workstation that is better, more tightly connected. Otherwise, I think Flex is amazing for what it is, and it's gotten better and better and better, and I suspect that it's going to continue to improve. Okay, that's it for this video. Hope you found this workflow useful, and we'll be doing more videos over the next couple weeks.